Soybeans are called meat of the field because of their high nutritional value. Soybeans contain an exceptionally high amount of protein, earning them the nickname meat of the field. The protein content in soybeans ranges from 35% to 40%, which is comparable to that of beef or chicken. Additionally, soybeans contain all the essential amino acids that the human body needs, making them one of the most nutritionally balanced plant-based protein sources. Soy protein is also highly digestible, making it an excellent alternative to animal protein. Because of this, soy-based foods are widely used in vegetarian and vegan diets. Fermenting soybeans enhances their nutritional value and digestibility. Soybeans are already highly nutritious, but fermentation makes them even easier to digest while enhancing their nutritional profile. This is because fermentation breaks down proteins into more easily absorbable forms. Examples of fermented soybean products include natto, miso, soy sauce, and tempeh, each with unique flavors and health benefits. For instance, natto is rich in vitamin K2, which supports bone health, while miso and soy sauce contain probiotics that help maintain a healthy gut. Fermented soybean products have been integral to various cuisines worldwide, particularly in Japan and other East Asian countries. Soybeans improve soil fertility naturally. Soybeans have the unique ability to enrich soil, making them beneficial for crop rotation. This is due to their symbiotic relationship with nitrogen-fixing bacteria known as rhizobia, which live in their roots. These bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen into a form that plants can absorb, naturally fertilizing the soil. As a result, fields where soybeans have been grown retain nutrients that benefit the next crops planted. This process is widely used in sustainable farming and organic agriculture, as it reduces the need for synthetic fertilizers and helps maintain soil health. Avocados do not ripen on the tree. Avocados are unique in that they do not ripen while on the tree. They remain hard until they are harvested, ripening over time after being picked. This characteristic makes them less prone to damage and suitable for transportation over long distances. It also allows consumers to choose the level of ripeness they prefer, making avocados versatile for different culinary uses. The origins and inefficiencies of the QWERTY keyboard layout. The QWERTY keyboard layout, designed in the 1870s, was not optimized for efficient typing. Instead, it was created to prevent typewriter keys from jamming by spacing out frequently used letters. Despite its inefficiency, QWERTY became the standard and remains dominant due to widespread adoption and familiarity. Alternative layouts, such as Dvorak or Colmac, have been developed to increase typing speed and reduce finger movement. However, QWERTY persists because its ubiquity outweighs the benefits of transitioning to newer systems. Oil painting creates depth through layering. One of the defining characteristics of oil painting is the ability to create depth and dimensionality by layering paint. This technique, known as layering, involves applying multiple layers of paint step by step, such as underpainting, intermediate layers, and final glazing. By allowing each layer to dry before applying the next, artists can achieve a luminous and transparent finish without muddying the colors. Masters like Vermeer and Rembrandt perfected this technique, using it to portray light and shadow with incredible realism. This level of depth and detail is challenging to achieve with other painting mediums, making oil painting unique. Refrigerators don't actually cool food. Refrigerators don't directly cool food. Instead, they remove heat from the interior and release it outside. Specifically, the cooling system inside the refrigerator absorbs heat, and the condenser at the back releases this heat into the surrounding air. That's why the area around the back of the refrigerator often feels warm. This process helps maintain a consistent internal temperature, keeping your food fresh. Western knives and Japanese knives differ in shape and usage. Knives are generally categorized into Western knives and Japanese knives, and they differ in shape and usage. Western knives, such as the chef's knife, are designed to be all-purpose and are commonly used for cutting meat, fish, and vegetables with a single knife. These knives typically have a curved blade, making them suitable for a rocking motion on the cutting board. In contrast, Japanese knives are specialized for specific tasks. For example, the Yanagaba knife is used for slicing sashimi, the Deba knife for cutting fish, and the Nakiri knife for chopping vegetables. Each Japanese knife is crafted for a specific purpose, requiring skill to use effectively. However, they produce beautiful, precise cuts, reflecting Japan's meticulous approach to food preparation. Japanese knives symbolize the nation's culinary culture and respect for craftsmanship. Bees' roles change with age in their society. In a honeybee colony, the roles of worker bees change as they age. Newly born worker bees begin their lives by cleaning the hive and tending to the larvae. As they grow older, they take on tasks like processing honey and maintaining the hive. Eventually, they transition to foraging for food outside the hive and defending it. This age-based division of labor ensures that each bee's physical capabilities are optimally utilized. This system of age-based task allocation is a key factor in the efficiency of a honeybee colony. The cycles of influenza pandemics. Influenza pandemics occur approximately every 10 to 50 years, according to historical records. The 20th century saw three major pandemics. 1918, Spanish flu. This was the deadliest influenza pandemic in history, killing an estimated 50 million people worldwide. Caused by an H1N1 virus, it severely affected even healthy young adults. 1957, Asian flu. This H2N2 virus caused around 2 million deaths and included genes from bird influenza viruses. 1968, Hong Kong flu. The H3N2 virus caused about 1 million deaths and continues to circulate as a seasonal influenza strain. Pandemics often occur when influenza viruses undergo significant genetic shifts, such as those resulting from the transfer of animal viruses to humans. The economic impact of space debris and challenges for the future space debris has significant economic repercussions. If a satellite collides with debris and is destroyed, the cost of repair or replacement can exceed billions of dollars. Additionally, such collisions can generate new debris, increasing the risk of further incidents and escalating costs. As the problem worsens, the growth of the space industry could stall, hindering commercial use and exploration. In the future, Technological innovation and stronger international cooperation will be essential to ensure the sustainable use of space and to mitigate the risks posed by space debris. Baby elephants stand up remarkably quickly. Baby elephants are able to stand and start walking within a few hours of birth. This instinctive behavior helps them survive in the wild by quickly avoiding potential predators. Newborn elephants are surrounded and protected by their mothers and other herd members as they grow. Compared to other animals, species like horses and deer also walk shortly after birth, but the way elephants' entire herd protects and nurtures the calf is particularly unique. Muscles are closely connected to the brain. While the brain sends signals to control muscle movement, the movement of muscles can also influence the brain. For example, exercise triggers the release of hormones like serotonin and endorphins, which enhance feelings of happiness. This is why exercise is effective in relieving stress and improving mood. Studies have also shown that strength training can reduce the risk of dementia, highlighting the deep connection between muscles and the brain. Types of snake venom and their medical applications. Snake venom is classified into two primary types: neurotoxic venom and hemotoxic venom. Neurotoxic venom affects the nervous system, causing paralysis and respiratory failure, while hemotoxic venom disrupts blood clotting, leading to internal bleeding and tissue damage. Venom serves not only to immobilize prey, but also to aid in digestion by breaking down tissue. In modern medicine, snake venom has been utilized to develop life-saving drugs. For example, certain components of venom are used to create medications that lower blood pressure or prevent blood clots. Thus, snake venom has a significant impact not only in nature, but also in medical research and treatment. Tuna's hunting and social behavior. Tuna exhibit both solitary and group behaviors, often forming schools that play a vital role in their hunting strategies and protection. Cooperative hunting tuna schools work together to hunt efficiently. For instance, dozens of tuna can herd schools of smaller fish, like sardines, into tight clusters, making it easier to catch their prey. This cooperative behavior is a hallmark of schooling fish. Social advantage. Schooling also provides protection against predators. Being in a group reduces the chances of any single tuna being targeted by larger predators, such as sharks or other large fish. For example, in the Indian Ocean and Southeast Asia, large schools of tuna are often observed working together to hunt. These schools are also highly valued by fishermen, as they allow for the capture of large numbers of tuna at once. The role of emerging nations in the space debris issue. While space development has historically been led by advanced nations, emerging countries are increasingly participating. Nations like India, China, and Brazil are expanding their satellite launch programs, contributing to the growing volume of space debris. However, these countries are also addressing the space debris issue. India, for example, has conducted satellite destruction tests in the past, but is now focusing on sustainable space development and researching debris removal technologies. International cooperation and technological advancements from both emerging and developed nations are crucial steps toward solving the space debris problem. Cricket holds the record for the longest match in sports history. In 1939, a test match between South Africa and England lasted an incredible 12 days. The game, known as the Timeless Test, was eventually abandoned because the England team had to catch a ship back home. The match saw players physically exhausted and fans enduring an unprecedented length of play. While modern cricket matches, including 5-day test matches, are considered long by contemporary standards, this historic game exemplifies cricket's unique relationship with time. It remains a symbol of the sport's endurance and traditional nature. Ants act as Earth's natural cleaners. Ants play a critical role as decomposers in ecosystems. They collect and break down organic matter such as dead insects, leaves, and leftover food, helping to recycle nutrients back into the soil. This decomposition process enriches the soil and promotes plant growth. One study revealed that ants are responsible for over 30% of organic matter decomposition in tropical rainforests. Without ants, leaves, carcasses, and debris would accumulate, potentially disrupting entire ecosystems. Additionally, ants dig tunnels in the soil, improving air and water circulation underground. This makes ants essential to maintaining healthy ecosystems. They truly are nature's little cleaners, contributing to the balance and sustainability of our planet. The evolution of defensive strategies and their importance. Defense plays a crucial role in basketball, not only preventing scoring, but also influencing the flow of the game. Traditional man-to-man defense assigns each player to guard a specific opponent, while zone defense covers specific areas on the court. Recent innovations include strategies like switch defense and help defense, emphasizing team coordination to disrupt opponents' offenses. In particular, strategies aimed at reducing the success of three-point shots have become critical in determining game outcomes, reflecting the growing reliance on perimeter shooting in modern basketball. The sharpness of a knife depends largely on the angle of the blade. The sharpness of a knife is significantly influenced by the angle of the blade. Japanese knives generally have sharper blade angles compared to Western knives. The blade angle of Japanese knives typically ranges from 10 to 15 degrees, which allows for extremely precise and sharp cuts. In contrast, Western knives have a blade angle of 20 to 25 degrees, making them more durable for cutting through tougher ingredients like meat and bones. However, the sharper the angle, the more prone the blade is to chipping, so careful handling is essential. Professional craftsmen adjust the blade angle based on the knife's intended use to achieve the perfect balance between sharpness and durability. Muscles have a system for storing oxygen. Muscles have a built-in system for storing oxygen, thanks to a protein called myoglobin. Myoglobin transports and stores oxygen within muscle cells, providing the oxygen needed to generate energy. This function is particularly prominent in slow-twitch muscles, which are designed for endurance activities. Muscles rich in myoglobin maintain a steady supply of oxygen, making them less prone to fatigue. The connection between space debris and military activities. Some space debris originates from military activities. In the past, countries like the United States, China, and India conducted anti-satellite missile tests, generating thousands of debris fragments in orbit. These tests involve destroying satellites with missiles, scattering debris across orbital paths. These fragments remain in space for extended periods, posing long-term risks to other satellites and space missions. Such activities raise concerns about the military use of space and its implications for international security. The longest soccer match in history. In 1946, a charity soccer match in Hampshire, England, earned the title of the longest soccer match ever played, lasting an incredible 3 hours and 30 minutes. This match was organized between local workers' teams to raise funds for a community cause. Unlike modern rules, which include penalty shootouts to resolve ties, this game followed a play until there's a winner format. Multiple periods of extra time were added, as neither team could secure victory within the usual 90 minutes or even the first few extensions. The match finally ended with a score of 5-3. By the end, players were so exhausted that some reportedly needed several days of recovery. Spectators, moved by the perseverance of the teams, donated generously. Today, such prolonged matches are prohibited due to concerns for players' health. This extraordinary game remains a legendary moment in soccer history, symbolizing human endurance and community spirit. Tuna's remarkable vision. Tuna possess extraordinary vision, a crucial adaptation for hunting prey in the vast ocean. Wide field of view. Tuna's eyes are positioned on the sides of their heads, allowing them to have a nearly 360-degree field of vision. This monocular vision helps them detect predators and prey across a wide range without turning their bodies. Adaptation to low light. Tuna's eyes are equipped with highly sensitive photoreceptor cells, enabling them to see in low-light conditions. This ability is essential for hunting in deep-sea environments or at night. For example, bluefin tuna can hunt schools of sardines near the surface while also diving deep to prey on squid in darker waters. This visual versatility is key to their survival in varied environments. Medieval Europeans believed dogs had healing powers. During the Middle Ages, dogs were often seen as healers, and their saliva was thought to have medicinal properties. The belief was so strong that some hospitals allowed dogs to lick patients' wounds, thinking this could aid in healing. While medieval medicine is far removed from modern science, recent studies have shown that dogs' saliva does contain certain enzymes that can help kill bacteria, which might explain the origins of this medieval belief. In addition, dogs were often given as gifts to comfort the sick, a precursor to therapy dogs today. Bees use their ability to detect electric fields to distinguish flowers. Honeybees can sense the weak electric fields emitted by flowers. Flowers carry small electric charges due to wind or contact with insects, and honeybees detect these fields through their body hair or tactile sensors. This ability allows bees to determine whether a flower has recently been visited by another bee. Since flowers that have already been visited may have less nectar, bees use this information to find more abundant sources efficiently. This electric field detection is an advanced adaptation that helps bees optimize their foraging with limited time and energy. The efficiency of photosynthesis and how plants absorb light. Plants use light to generate energy through photosynthesis, with chloroplasts efficiently absorbing specific wavelengths of light. Blue and red light are the most critical for photosynthesis, while green light is reflected, which is why plants appear green. Recently, technologies using LED lights have been developed to provide optimized wavelengths for plant growth. These advancements are being used in vertical farming, where light control helps enhance efficiency and yield. Such technologies hold great promise for improving global food production and addressing future food supply challenges. Tuna's hunting and social behavior. Tuna exhibit both solitary and group behaviors, often forming schools that play a vital role in their hunting strategies and protection. Cooperative hunting tuna schools work together to hunt efficiently. For instance, dozens of tuna can herd schools of smaller fish, like sardines, into tight clusters, making it easier to catch their prey. This cooperative behavior is a hallmark of schooling fish. Social advantage. Schooling also provides protection against predators. Being in a group reduces the chances of any single tuna being targeted by larger predators, such as sharks or other large fish. For example, in the Indian Ocean and Southeast Asia, large schools of tuna are often observed working together to hunt. These schools are also highly valued by fishermen, as they allow for the capture of large numbers of tuna at once. Japanese knives are classified into single-edged and double-edged types. Japanese knives can be broadly divided into two types: single-edged knives and double-edged knives. Single-edged knives have a blade on only one side and are primarily used by professional chefs. These knives are known for their extremely sharp cutting edge, making them ideal for cutting delicate ingredients like sashimi with precision. Single-edged knives are tailored for either right-handed or left-handed users, and they must be chosen accordingly. On the other hand, double-edged knives have blades on both sides and are the most common type used in households. These knives are versatile, suitable for cutting meat, fish, and vegetables, and are easy to handle even for beginners. It's important to choose the right type of knife based on its purpose and the user's skill level. The ocean contains whirlpools that act like black holes. The ocean has powerful whirlpools that behave similarly to black holes in space. These are known as mesoscale eddies, and they can span tens to hundreds of kilometers in diameter. These whirlpools trap water and marine life inside, isolating them from the surrounding environment for extended periods. Mesoscale eddies play an important role in transporting heat and distributing nutrients within the ocean. They also influence the movement of plankton and the migration routes of fish. Scientists see these eddies as energy reservoirs in the ocean, and studying them helps researchers better understand climate change and ocean circulation. Influenza vaccines are effective at preventing severe symptoms. Influenza vaccines do not always completely prevent infection, but they are highly effective at reducing the severity of symptoms. Vaccination significantly lowers the risk of pneumonia and hospitalization, especially for older adults and people with chronic conditions. In communities with high vaccination rates, even unvaccinated individuals benefit from reduced virus circulation, enhancing overall protection. Oil paintings are highly restorable. One of the remarkable qualities of oil paintings is their ability to be restored even after centuries. Over time, colors may dull or cracks may form in the paint layers, but skilled conservators can use specialized techniques to restore these works to their original glory. For example, masterpieces from the Renaissance and Baroque periods can still be admired today thanks to the durability of oil paint and the ability to repair and clean the layers. The thick and robust nature of oil paint allows for detailed restoration and ensures that these artworks can be preserved for future generations. Hydrothermal vents on the seafloor support life in extreme environments. The ocean floor contains hydrothermal vents, which emit superheated water filled with minerals like hydrogen sulfide and metal ions. These vents form along cracks in the sea floor, where tectonic plates separate, allowing hot water to gush out. Unlike most marine ecosystems that rely on sunlight, the organisms living around hydrothermal vents survive by using chemosynthesis, a process that derives energy from chemicals in the water. These ecosystems thrive in total darkness and extreme conditions, demonstrating that life can exist without sunlight. This discovery has implications for the search for extraterrestrial life, as similar environments may exist on other celestial bodies, like Mars or Jupiter's moon Europa. Countries adopted different strategies. Zero COVID versus living with COVID. In response to the COVID-19, countries implemented two distinct strategies: zero COVID and living with COVID. The zero COVID strategy aimed to eliminate all infections and was adopted by countries like China and New Zealand. It involved strict lockdowns, border closures, and widespread testing. On the other hand, the living with COVID strategy, adopted by countries like Japan and many Western nations, focused on managing the spread while maintaining economic and social activities. This approach emphasized vaccination rollout and strengthening healthcare systems. While zero COVID effectively controlled infections, it significantly impacted economies, whereas living with COVID prioritized balancing infection control with sustainable healthcare resource allocation. Knife tips can be either pointed or rounded. The tip of a knife blade can be classified into two types: pointed tips and rounded tips. A pointed tip has a sharp, tapered end, which is useful for piercing food and making precise cuts. This type of tip is commonly found on knives like yanagiba and deba knives, which are used for tasks that require delicate handling, such as slicing sashimi or cutting fish. On the other hand, a rounded tip is blunt and safer to use, making it suitable for cutting fruits and vegetables without the risk of accidentally piercing the skin. Rounded tip knives are often preferred for beginner cooks and are commonly found in household kitchens. The shape of the knife tip influences its functionality and should be chosen based on the intended use. Ants were the first farmers in history. Ants were practicing agriculture millions of years before humans discovered farming. Leafcutter ants are a prime example of this behavior. These ants cut leaves from plants, but instead of eating the leaves directly, they carry them back to their nest and chew them into a pulp. This pulp serves as a nutrient-rich substrate for cultivating a specific type of fungus, which the ants use as their primary food source. Leafcutter ants constantly monitor the health of their fungal crops, removing dead or damaged sections to ensure optimal growth. This process closely resembles human farming, where crops are maintained and managed to secure food supplies. For this reason, ants are often considered the first organisms to have evolved agriculture on Earth. The relationship between microwaves and moisture, causes of dryness and uneven heating. Microwaves often cause food to dry out because they directly target water molecules, leading to evaporation, especially on the surface of the food. Uneven heating occurs when the shape, density, or moisture content of the food is inconsistent. To prevent these issues, using a microwave-safe lid or plastic wrap to trap steam, or adding a small amount of water can help retain moisture. Additionally, cutting food into smaller pieces or stirring during heating promotes more even cooking. Ants create living food storage. Certain ants, known as honeypot ants, act as living food storage containers to help their colony survive during times of food scarcity. These ants are found mainly in harsh desert environments, where food can be difficult to come by. When worker ants collect nectar or other liquid food, they transfer it to specific individuals in the colony. These ants store the food in their bodies, causing their abdomens to swell like balloons. They remain suspended from the ceiling or walls of the nest, motionless, acting as reservoirs. When food becomes scarce, other ants gently extract the stored nutrients from these living containers to survive. This remarkable strategy highlights the adaptability of ants to extreme environments. Chromium as the element, providing durability and aesthetic appeal. Chromium is widely used for its shiny silver appearance and exceptional corrosion resistance, making it a key component of stainless steel and decorative plating. Stainless steel, created by adding chromium to iron, resists rusting and is indispensable in construction and kitchenware. Chromium is also used in pigments to produce vibrant red and green colors. However, some chromium compounds are toxic and pose environmental and health risks. Compared to other transition metals like nickel, chromium excels in corrosion resistance and decorative applications. Refrigerators helped solve the CFC problem. Refrigerators once used chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, as refrigerants, which were highly effective but harmful to the environment. In the 1980s, it was discovered that CFCs were depleting the Earth's ozone layer, leading to stricter regulations worldwide. In response, refrigerator manufacturers developed eco-friendly alternatives such as hydrocarbon-based refrigerants and CO2 refrigerants. Today's refrigerators maintain excellent cooling performance while minimizing their environmental impact. Mercury's surface shows evidence of ancient volcanic activity. Mercury's surface contains numerous features that indicate a history of intense volcanic activity. Observations from NASA's Messenger spacecraft revealed vast lava plains and volcanic craters, suggesting that the planet's interior was once very active. One of the most fascinating areas is the Caloris Basin, one of the largest impact craters in the solar system. Surrounding this basin are extensive lava plains, believed to have formed when the energy from the impact heated Mercury's interior, causing massive amounts of lava to erupt onto the surface. This volcanic activity peaked around 3.5 billion years ago and gradually subsided over time. These findings provide valuable insights when compared to the volcanic history of other celestial bodies, such as Mars or the Moon. For example, Mars has massive volcanoes like Olympus Mons, which are localized features, while Mercury's volcanic activity is characterized by widespread lava flows, highlighting differences in planetary evolution. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the adoption of telemedicine in Japan. The spread of the COVID-19 led to a rapid increase in telemedicine adoption in Japan. Before the pandemic, telemedicine faced significant regulatory hurdles and was not widely used. However, these restrictions were relaxed during the pandemic, allowing more healthcare providers to offer remote consultations. Telemedicine enabled patients, particularly the elderly and those with chronic conditions, to access medical care safely from home, reducing their risk of exposure to the virus. It also improved healthcare access for individuals in rural or remote areas. This shift marked a significant step toward the digitization of healthcare in Japan, paving the way for improved efficiency and broader access to medical services in the future. Teotihuacan and its influence on the Aztec civilization. Teotihuacan, located in present-day Mexico, was a prominent city that flourished from around 100 BCE to 600 CE. The city featured monumental structures such as the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon, which served as centers for religious ceremonies and reflected advanced astronomical knowledge. Later, the Aztecs revered Teotihuacan as the City of the Gods, heavily influenced by its architecture and cultural legacy. While the Maya civilization of the same era developed its unique calendar and astronomical systems, Teotihuacan's urban structure and massive architecture set it apart as a center of power and inspiration. Octopuses can sense color through their skin as well as their eyes. Octopuses don't rely solely on their eyes to perceive color. They can also sense it through their skin. Their skin contains light-sensitive cells called opsins, which detect light wavelengths and colors. This capability allows octopuses to instantly change their body color to blend with their surroundings, even without using their eyes. In dark environments or murky water, their skin-based light sensitivity enables them to camouflage effectively. This multisensory ability to recognize color is a unique feature that distinguishes octopuses from other marine animals. Picasso's works often conveyed strong political messages. Picasso was deeply engaged with social and political issues, using his art to address major events of his time. He witnessed the Spanish Civil War and World War II, which heavily influenced many of his works. One of his most famous pieces, Guernica, is a massive mural created to condemn the bombing of the town of Guernica during the Spanish Civil War by Nazi forces. This powerful painting vividly depicts the horrors of war and the suffering it causes. Picasso was not just an artist, but also a voice for social and political change, using his art to challenge injustices and inspire awareness. Picasso lived a long life and created art until his death. Born in Spain in 1881, Picasso remained creatively active until his death at the age of 91. Even in his later years, he maintained his passion and energy for art, continually experimenting with new materials and techniques. At the age of 90, he held a major solo exhibition and presented new works, showcasing his enduring vitality. His later pieces are characterized by bold, expressive brushstrokes and a freer style, often surpassing the experimental nature of his earlier works. Picasso's lifelong dedication to art exemplifies his pride and determination as a creator. Why the compressor starts and stops. The refrigerator's compressor cycles on and off to maintain a consistent internal temperature. When the set temperature is reached, the compressor stops, and it starts again when the temperature rises. This mechanism optimizes cooling efficiency and saves energy. However, if the compressor cycles too frequently, it's worth checking whether the refrigerator door is closing properly. Diversity of E. coli strains. When people think of E. coli, they often imagine a single type of bacterium. In reality, E. coli comprises a vast diversity of strains, including beneficial ones that act as resident bacteria in the human gut, and harmful pathogenic strains that can cause disease. For example, while typical E. coli in the intestines help produce vitamins, strains like enterohemorrhagic E. coli, O157, and enterotoxigenic E. coli, E-tech, produce toxins and have unique mechanisms of infection. These differences arise from genetic variations and adaptations to different environments. Understanding the diversity of E. coli strains is crucial for disease prevention and developing targeted treatments. The match with too many goals. In 1995, a bizarre game in Madagascar's domestic league set the record for the most goals scored in a match, as Adema defeated So de Amirn 149-0, but the goals were not legitimate plays. Instead, So de Amirn intentionally scored own goals repeatedly as a protest against a referee's decision. This unusual match remains one of the strangest moments in soccer history. Such unsportsmanlike conduct is now strictly punished, making a repeat of this incident highly unlikely. The buzzing sound of bees' wings is also used for communication. The buzzing sound created by bees while flying is not just for flight. It also serves as a signal to other bees. For instance, hornets use specific buzzing sounds to summon their hive mates for assistance. Similarly, honeybees use buzzing sounds when drawing nectar in the hive, encouraging others to cooperate in the process. These acoustic signals play a vital role in the social organization and cooperative behaviors of bees. The Kuchiwa ferrule strengthens the handle of a knife. The Kuchiwa, or ferrule, is a component found at the joint between the blade and the handle of a knife. Its primary function is to reinforce the connection between the two parts, improving the knife's durability. The Kuchiwa helps prevent the blade from loosening or detaching from the handle, even after long-term use. In professional-grade knives, the Kuchiwa is designed to prevent water and moisture from entering the handle, which helps maintain the knife's integrity. Additionally, the Kuchiwa adds aesthetic value, as it can be made from materials like wood or metal, enhancing the knife's appearance. The ferrule is an essential part that contributes to both the knife's functionality and design. Gold is a miraculous metal born from the cosmos. Gold is created only during extreme cosmic events like supernova explosions or collisions between neutron stars. In these events, immense energy is released, allowing atomic nuclei to fuse and form elements heavier than iron. The gold we find on Earth, originated in these stellar explosions and was delivered to our planet via comets and asteroids. Gold is highly resistant to corrosion and easy to work with, making it a valuable resource for jewelry and currency since ancient times. Even today, its rarity makes it one of the most prized materials in the world. Octopus brains are exceptionally large for their body size. The brain of an octopus is notably large relative to its body size, making it one of the most developed brains among invertebrates. Shaped like a donut, the brain encircles the esophagus, meaning that food must pass through the brain as it is swallowed. This unique arrangement requires octopuses to chew food into very small pieces to avoid complications. Octopus brains contain around 500 million neurons, most of which are distributed in their arms, enabling sophisticated cognitive abilities and independent arm control. This advanced brain structure allows octopuses to solve mazes, use tools, and perform complex tasks. Ants perform group medical care. Some ants exhibit behaviors that resemble medical care when a member of the colony is injured. For instance, the Matabele ant, which lives in Africa, carries its injured nestmates back to the colony after battles. Once there, the wounded ants receive care as their comrades clean and lick their wounds. This grooming behavior helps prevent bacterial infections, increasing the chance of recovery. By saving injured individuals, the colony ensures it maintains a strong and functional workforce. This behavior shows how ants instinctively act as a medical team, which is fascinating when compared to human societies. The world's largest volcano and its scale. The largest volcano in the world is Mauna Loa in Hawaii. When measured from its base on the seafloor, it rises over 10,000 meters, making it taller than Mount Everest. Mauna Loa is a shield volcano, known for its gently flowing lava and relatively calm eruptions. Its immense scale makes it a critical subject for studying the Earth's interior and volcanic processes. E. coli and probiotics. Recent studies on gut bacteria, including E. coli, have highlighted its potential as a probiotic. A strain known as E. coli Nissl 1917 has been found to suppress the growth of pathogenic bacteria and is used in treatments for gut health and inflammatory bowel diseases. Discovered during World War I, this strain has been utilized to improve intestinal health even before antibiotics became widely available. Probiotics not only help balance gut flora, but may also enhance immune function and prevent allergies, with E. coli playing a central role in these benefits. Influenza and common cold seasons often overlap. The winter months, when influenza is most prevalent, also see an increase in common colds. The overlapping seasons can make it harder to distinguish between the two. However, influenza typically presents with a sudden onset of high fever and full-body fatigue, while cold symptoms progress more gradually. Identifying these differences helps ensure timely treatment and proper management. Bees navigate using ultraviolet light. Bees possess a unique ability to perceive ultraviolet, UV light, which they use for navigation. Even on cloudy days or in low light conditions, bees can detect polarized UV light patterns to determine the position of the sun. This ability allows them to travel long distances, locate food sources, and return to their hive with remarkable accuracy. Additionally, UV vision helps bees spot nectar guides on flowers, directing them to the best sources of nectar and pollen. Variants of the COVID-19 had differing transmission and immune escape capabilities. Several variants of the COVID-19, including Alpha, Delta, and Omicron, exhibited distinct characteristics. The Alpha variant spread more quickly than earlier strains, while the Delta variant had approximately double the transmissibility and caused a higher risk of severe illness, particularly among unvaccinated populations. The Omicron variant, although highly transmissible, was associated with a lower risk of severe outcomes. The emergence of these variants demonstrated the virus's adaptability and made achieving herd immunity more challenging, even in countries with high vaccination rates. To address these challenges, vaccine development evolved, with mRNA-based booster shots tailored to target emerging variants, alongside enhanced surveillance systems to track mutations in real time. Bees selectively visit specific flowers to assist pollination. Bees don't visit flowers randomly when collecting nectar. They focus on specific types of flowers, a behavior known as floral constancy. For instance, honeybees often concentrate on one type of flower at a time, collecting nectar and pollen exclusively from those flowers. This behavior enhances the efficiency of pollen transfer, increasing the reproductive success of plants. Additionally, bees can see ultraviolet light, allowing them to follow nectar guides on flowers that are invisible to humans. This specialization strengthens the evolutionary relationship between bees and plants. The blue screen of death protects your system from further harm. The blue screen of death is a Windows error screen that appears when the system encounters a critical issue. This screen halts the system to prevent further damage to hardware or data. It displays an error message that helps technicians diagnose the problem. The BSOD is a protective measure, ensuring that no additional harm is caused by continuing operations. Modern Windows versions have simplified the error messages and even provide links to solutions, making it easier for users to resolve the issues. Why carrots are an environmentally friendly crop. Carrots are considered environmentally friendly because they require relatively low amounts of water and fertilizer to grow. Compared to other vegetables, carrots consume less water, making them a stable crop even in arid regions. They also have minimal crop rotation issues, allowing farmers to grow them repeatedly in the same field with ease. Additionally, carrot peels and leaves are entirely usable, reducing food waste. These traits make carrots an essential crop in sustainable agriculture and a practical choice for eco-conscious farming. The cycles of influenza pandemics. Influenza pandemics occur approximately every 10 to 50 years, according to historical records. The 20th century saw three major pandemics. 1918, Spanish flu. This was the deadliest influenza pandemic in history, killing an estimated 50 million people worldwide. Caused by an H1N1 virus, it severely affected even healthy young adults. 1957, Asian flu. This H2N2 virus caused around 2 million deaths and included genes from bird influenza viruses. 1968, Hong Kong flu. The H3N2 virus caused about 1 million deaths and continues to circulate as a seasonal influenza strain. Pandemics often occur when influenza viruses undergo significant genetic shifts, such as those resulting from the transfer of animal viruses to humans.